You say, "I never agreed to that deadline." They answer, "There it is, that attitude. This is why nobody can talk to you." Now the agreement is gone and your character is on trial. If you start proving you are not difficult, you have entered their story. Use 5 moves I call the frame reset protocol. First, shield. Before we discuss my reaction, state the original issue in 1 sentence, then stop. If they cannot return to the issue, do not chase the accusation. This is not another list of signs. It is a tactical manual for resetting the issue, emotion, record, and boundary, without over-explaining. You are here because you need words that work under pressure, tactical lines you can use when your heart is racing. That is what every move will give you. Move 1. What was the original fact before the argument became about your personality? Imagine the manager repeats, "We agreed this would be done Friday." You say, "The message I received said Monday." And instead of opening the message, they say, "You always do this. You make everything difficult." Notice the switch. There are now 2 possible conversations. The first is small and answerable. Was the deadline Friday or Monday? The second is enormous and unwinnable. Are you a difficult person? Do not accept the larger trial. Say, "The question is whether that deadline was agreed to." Let's answer that first. You are not denying that tone can matter. You are refusing to use tone as a substitute for the missing answer. 1 issue, 1 sentence, 1 answer. And then wait. Silence matters here. If you add 6 examples proving you are cooperative, you give the new story 6 new doors. Reset the issue and let the other person decide whether they are willing to discuss it. But sometimes they do not attack your character directly. They use a feeling as the verdict. You ask a family member, "Who repeated what I told you privately?" They answer, "Everyone felt attacked by the way you came in." That feeling may be sincere. It still does not answer who repeated the story. The wrong response is, "Your feelings are not facts." That sounds like contempt, and now the conversation really will be about your tone. Use this instead. "I can hear that you felt attacked, so I don't repeat that. What specific words should I avoid?" That line does 2 things at once. It treats the feeling as real, and it asks for something observable. If they name the words, you have something concrete to examine. If they cannot name them, do not mock them. Say, "We can discuss the feeling and still establish what was said." Researchers have documented how accountability conversations can reverse roles until the person raising the issue is treated as the offender. You do not need to diagnose anyone to recognize the shift. Return to conduct. The words, the action, the sequence. Because once words like everyone or always enter the room, you need the 3rd move. A coworker says, "You always resist feedback." That sentence feels heavy because it compresses months of work into 1 trait. Do not answer with your own history book. Do not send 20 screenshots at midnight. Use a 3-point record. First, the task changed. Then I asked which version was final. Then, this conversation began. 3 points. Not 30. If there is a message that settles it, add 1 calm offer. If I missed a message, show me the message and I'll correct the record. That final clause matters. You are showing that the purpose of the record is accuracy, not victory. Many people become afraid to share anything once they suspect their ordinary words are being collected into a story. That fear can make you over-document every conversation or explain yourself before anyone has even asked. Do neither. Keep the record short enough that a neutral person could understand it in 30 seconds. Fact, sequence, correction if needed. But what if the story has already left the room? What if they recruited other people before you could respond? That is where the next video begins. How to stop a private rewrite from becoming a public verdict. For now, keep the record short, because your next move decides whether this conversation stays useful. Suppose you are discussing one cutting remark with a partner or relative. Within 2 minutes, you are hearing about a holiday 3 years ago, the way you speak to your brother, and what your silence really means. The event has disappeared. Your whole character has been called as a witness. Say, I will discuss this event. I will not defend my entire character. That is a boundary because it names what you will do. It is not, you must stop attacking me. You cannot enforce that. It is, if we return to the event, I'll stay. If the personal accusations continue, I'm ending this conversation. Now be careful. A boundary is not a dramatic threat. Say it once. Keep your voice level, then follow it. In a workplace, following it may mean requesting the specific performance concern in writing or asking for a supported meeting. In a dependent or unsafe relationship, it may mean getting help before you announce any boundary at all. The goal is not to win the room. The goal is to stop donating your identity to an argument that has no edge. And if the same accusation returns after every fact has been answered, use move 5. You reset the issue. You asked for the specific words. You gave the 3-point record. You stated the boundary. And 10 minutes later, you hear, see? You still refuse to take responsibility. At this point, another explanation is not clarification. It is another lap. Say, we've addressed the original issue. Since this has turned into a character argument, I'm going to step away until we can get back to the facts. Do not add a closing speech. Do not explain why stepping away is healthy. Do not wait for permission to end a conversation you have already ended. If a real decision still has to be made, move it to a clearer forum. If a decision is required, send the specific question in writing, and I'll answer it. That is not the silent treatment. You have named the condition for continuing. A specific question, a factual issue, and a channel where the answer can remain visible. For threats, stalking, abuse, employment discipline, or legal exposure, conversational technique is not the whole solution. Use qualified support and protect your safety. Closing the loop means you stop treating endless repetition as a new obligation. Here is the complete frame reset protocol. Issue. What exact fact was being discussed? Emotion. What feeling is being reported, and what observable act is alleged? Record. What is the shortest verifiable sequence? Boundary. What will you discuss and what will you not defend? Loop. Has the question been answered and where, if anywhere, does it continue? You do not need all 5 moves in every disagreement. Sometimes move 1 is enough. Sometimes the most important move is recognizing that you have already answered. The protocol is not a weapon for proving that you are right. It is a way to keep one dispute from swallowing your entire identity. When someone twists the story, urgency tells you to explain more. The stronger response is usually smaller. Return to the issue. Ask for the specific words. Give the short record. State the boundary. Close the loop. And if the story has already reached other people, remember that question. It is the next problem this series needs to solve. You do not have to win a character trial. You have to refuse its premise.